Hello and welcome to the mains paper 4 discussion of 2023. So welcome to all. Today we'll be discussing the approaches which could have been applied in the 2023 paper and further takeaways for your 2023-2024 mains paper. So how many of you have given the mains paper this year? Just chat in the comment boxes. You can mention in the comment boxes. Welcome. I feel very overwhelmed because many people, they do join the discussions regularly and they do discuss regularly with me, and they also are very active in the comment boxes. So that's the part. Am I streaming fine? Is my voice coming to you? Am I audible? Hello, Mukesh. So uh, let's discuss the general trends, as in what was the general trend here. Like how could we have analyzed this? How could we have read this ethics paper? That what was there in this ethics paper? What do you think was the overall objective of the paper, or what are the trends as per you? Like how has UPSC changed this year? Hello, namaste, good evening to everyone. So let's discuss it. I feel that the paper, it has been repeating the trends of the past years. The themes have been repeating in nature, but the value, the type of keywords they are using, just like GS paper 2, that has similarity with polity also, and that has something novel. So this is there. Apart from that, hi. So apart from that, I don't think that in the sense that there were certain new things in the paper. So the new things were quite less. It was predictable. The statement based questions, we could have easily answered it. In case study, in one of the places, there was a novelty instead. Have you noticed the novelty aspirants regarding this question? Regarding the question of, regarding this part, that describe at least 4 laws that have been enacted by the government with respect to providing healthy, safe and equitable working environment to women. So this is there. Please speak in Hindi. I'll try. मैं important words को हिंदी में बोलने का try करूँगी, so that it is comfortable for both the English as well as the Hindi students. Very difficult paper cloaked in simple looking language. Yes, that's it. That's there. I understand that. So that is why I have said that the keywords they have used, that has somehow changed the scenario a little bit here. But still, I would categorize it as moderate. I mean, it's, of course, ethics is not that easy. But this was the trend, that the statement based questions, we could have answered it provided we have read the themes of the earlier part. In case studies also, it was doable. So that was their elegance, exquisite, amazing. Okay, thank you. So that's there. Now, apart from that, about the case studies part, what was case studies part here? Now, in case studies, the general trend which has been observed is that the questions, they were not very lengthy, as per what I have seen is that in whichever questions they are asking about evaluating the options, मतलब वो questions जहाँ पे आपको merits, demerits दोनों mention करने हैं, वहाँ पर UPSC made your task easy. There are only 2 options given there. So this is there. Do you agree with me? Just mention in the comment boxes if you do agree with me, aspirants, that you have also observed this trend. By the way, how many questions in how many of the case studies they have asked this evaluate the options? That means you have to somehow mention the merits and demerits as well. So how many questions are such in nature? Do comment, people, that how many questions are of such a nature. Moving forward, so about the merits and demerits part we have discussed. About the novelty part, what was the novelty here? They are connecting it to laws. Actually, the thing is that earlier also, in case studies, when you were writing about the options available to you, there was the scope of connecting the GS paper 4 with GS paper 2 with the laws portion. But this time they have exclusively given a hint that UPSC looks at it in a combined manner, in an interrelated manner. So this is how this is there, that by giving this has been a hint that do try to categorize the case studies in certain categories. Like these are the categories. Like suppose for gender is the first type of category, and other is the corruption part. Like there is this corruption in the government, nexus with the politician, issues there. What are other categories? Do mention in the comment boxes. What could be the other categories, people, as per you? How was the paper as per you? Easy, difficult, or moderate? Do try to tell in the comment boxes further. How was the paper, people, for you? The case studies were good, but the theory part was difficult. Every question was 10 markers, so that increased the number of questions to be answered. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Yes, the theory part was little bit difficult, so I agree that. So this is there. So let's move forward here from taking it from here, that what has been the repeating trend, the questions, the themes have been repeated, although I understand the way they have formulated the statements. That was a little bit difficult here, but the themes have been repeated. So regarding the themes, if you could see the question number 6A here, what were the major teachings of Guru Nanak? Explain their relevance in the contemporary world. A similar question had been asked earlier about throwing light on significance of the thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi in the present times. How many of you have prepared Mahatma Gandhi for the ethics portion? What are the 7 sins of Mahatma Gandhi, people? Any of you know the answer to it? At least tell 1 or 2 sins in the comment boxes. What are the sins? Like politics without ethics is a death trap. Any other sin you know? Any other sin you can think of? So with your hearts, with your, all right, okay. Conflict of interest, ecology versus development debate, crisis of conscience. Yes, there were a few things like that. So this is there. Aspirants, some of you are writing about elegance, beauty, and me winning heart with the simplicity. That's appreciated, okay. But do try to focus on the content which I provide here, because I have long years of experience in UPSC. I have given around 5-6 attempts, so like exhausted all my attempts. So you see, I can provide a certain value to your preparation, and I hope I can be of value to everyone in this journey. That's there. So this is the repeating theme. Now, what is the lesson for you? When you read about art and culture portions, then just try to think in the Bhakti, Sufi saints portion, whatever socio-religious reformer you read in the modern history, there just try to think about the contemporary relevance of the teachings of these thinkers. We'll further understand how to brainstorm this contemporary relevance. Because if we notice it, if we think about the contemporary relevance from a general perspective, that what could be the contemporary relevance of a philosopher, a theorist, a socio-religious reformer, you can just put on the filler points particularly related to a thinker. So this is there. Science without morality, yes, this is one part. This is one part. So do you agree with me in this part that there is this significance, Mahatma Gandhi, and then the theme has been repeated? If it is clear, do write in the comment boxes, yes, it is clear, all clear. So I'll move forward with it further. So this is there. Ma'am, what is the fee of Civilsdaily mentorship? I'm sorry, I don't know. Literally, I don't know, because I am a faculty. So you can ask in the office. Need to link it with contemporary relevance of historical teachings of leaders. Yes, but how do you think of the contemporary relevance here? Do try to answer in the comment boxes. If ethics is difficult for you, do try to write difficult in the comment boxes at least, so that I'll tell that how to make it easy, because this is the coming part of our video, that how you have to make ethics easy here. So this is there. Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's clear. Let's move forward. So the next is about probity. That in earlier there was this question asked on short note on probity in 2022, and then afterwards in 2019 it was asked that what do you understand by probity and what are the measures for ensuring probity in governance. Now just tell me, people, don't you find it similar to this question which has been asked this year, that probity is essential for effective system of governance and socio-economic development? थोड़ा difficult है, I understand, but theme वही है. अगर आपने probity की definition prepare कर रखी है, अगर आपने transparency, accountability, dedication, objectivity, इन सब की आपने definitions prepare कर रखी हैं और उनका थोड़ा बहुत applied aspect सोच रखा है, तो आप इस आंसर तक पहुंच सकते हो. एंड व्हाट कुड बी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ इट, वो हम देखने की कोशिश करेंगे, एंड फर्दर विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. Easy, okay. To some people it is looking easy, the paper, so that is there. Further, just try to be engaged in the comment boxes. So what am I discussing here now? Let's just take one question out of it about the Guru Nanak. So these are the teachings of Guru Nanak. Do you have to remember it? No, don't worry. I am telling that how do you come up with such structure. क्या इतनी सारी आपको एग्जाम में लिखनी है टीचिंग्स? नो, यू डोंट हैव टू राइट इट. Whatever you can recall or brainstorm at that point of time. And let's just think that how could we have brainstormed this part. हम कैसे इस टाइप के चीजों को ब्रेनस्टॉर्म कर सकते हैं. दिस इज द आइडिया. आपको किसी भी थिंकर के बारे में ब्रेनस्टॉर्म करना है, आपको बस ये चीजें सोचनी है. दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव थॉट ऑफ. आप इसको एज इट इज मेंशन कर सकते हो, एज इट इज नोट कर सकते हो, स्क्रीनशॉट ले सकते हो. You can also refer to this PDF or PPT, whatever will be shared in the description. So this is there. Just coming to it part, that what is this? I mean, what have I written here is that आपको करना क्या है, whenever you have to think about a thinker, any thinker, either be it socio-religious reformer or be it a philosopher, वो individual के बारे में जरूर बात करते हैं. Do you agree with me? Write in the chat box whether they talk about an individual or not. क्या गांधी जी ने इंडिविजुअल की बात की है? आपको क्या पता है गांधी जी ने क्या इंडिविजुअल के बारे में बात की है? What has गांधी जी spoken about the individual? Do you know anything related to it? Just try to answer in the comment boxes. Yes, need to stress the application of probity on socio-economic life of people. Yes, that's right. Need to connect with probity with governance also, about efficiency and effectiveness of governance also. That is also right. Individual, क्या बात की है यहाँ पे? What has been spoken about? ये आपको सोचना है regarding any particular thinker, because the thought of any thinker, remember aspirants, starts with the individual. सबसे पहले आता है individual. Now what you have to think here, relation with God in those categories where you have to think about socio-religious reformers, you see, about भक्ति सूफी सेंट्स, जहां भी जिन भी लोगों ने रिलीजन के बारे में बात की है, wherever the people are saints, wherever the people are bhakti sufi saints, you have to think about the religious aspect, that what is their relation with God. जैसे गुरु नानक ने कोई ना कोई बात की होगी about religion, about the influence, the relationship of individual with that of God, that how do we consider God, whether God is formless or with form. क्या गुरु नानक एक निर्गुण सेंट थे और सगुण सेंट थे? This is the idea here, which I want to ask. You need to stress the okay, all right, okay, so that's there. So this is one idea, that you have to think relation with God wherever religion is the angle in that philosophy of a particular thinker or whatever is being asked. The next is family and society. I'll give an example. आपको क्या लगता है, what have you read in art and culture and modern history about Guru Nanak? Do you think that Guru Nanak had emphasized on maintaining relationship of individual with family? Guru Nanak ने क्या ऐसा बोला था that एक individual को, an individual should balance the spiritual as well as the duty towards family? If yes, then say yes in the comment boxes. Did Guru Nanak focus on the moderation part, that there should be moderation in life? The people who will write more specific teachings than ones who will write generic values like law and compassion, non-violence. Yes, there is this idea of specific teachings also. So this is there. But you read these thinkers in multiple portions, like some you read in modern, some you read in art and culture, some you read in other portions. Now the idea is that if you have not prepared these specific teachings, or if you don't have the structure of specific teachings in mind, then also you should be able to think something. You should be able to write at least average answers in the exam, at least think something, even if the structure is not exactly built up in your mind. इसीलिए we are doing this exercise. So am I clear? Write yes in the comment boxes if I am clear to you, and then we'll move forward further. I think some people have been I mean, I think I might have offended certain people, so they are not commenting right now. This is there. Okay, let's move forward. People of other community, ways to live life. So what's the idea here? अब आप फैमिली के बाद इसको सोसाइटी से लिंक करो, that what is the relationship of individual with society. What do you understand by community? What do you understand जब हम community की बात करते हैं यहाँ पे? Just tell me in the comment boxes further कि आप ethics को community से कैसे link कर सकते हो. This is the idea. Now what you have to think of is thinking of the basic human virtues. What are virtues for you, aspirants? What is the difference between virtues and ethics for you? Yes, ma'am, clear, that's fine. Good. So, what is the difference between virtues and ethics for you? क्या डिफरेंस है वर्च्यूज एंड एथिक्स में? क्या आप वर्च्यू बोलते हो, किस चीज को आप एथिक्स बोलते हो? डू ट्राई टू मेंशन इन द कमेंट बॉक्सेस फर्दर क्या आप बोलते हो. सो यू जस्ट हैव टू रिलेट वट एवर बेसिक वर्च्यूज यू हैव रेड इन योर क्लास नोट्स, in your reading materials with this, that what virtues did that saint try to promote, did that thinker try to promote, so that you can come up with 2-3 points on virtues also. Next is about structuring of society, economy, polity. Is it necessary for every thinker or philosopher? क्या आप भक्ति सेंस के केस में इकोनॉमी के स्ट्रक्चरिंग को सोच पाओगे? Yes or no? Write in the comment boxes. Is it possible? I don't think so it's possible. Aristotle defined community as immediate gathering. All right. All right. So this is there. So I would say that in structuring of society, economy and polity, आपको ये aspects वहाँ सोचने हैं where there is talk of more modern nature of thinkers from modern history like Gandhi ji, socio-religious reformers, like nationalist. If it is asked that what was the thought of Subhash Chandra Bose and how is it relevant in contemporary times, or any other nationalist, so there you have to think about society, economy and polity, because in thinkers के कुछ ideas हैं regarding society, economy and polity. Like Gandhi ji used to believe that economy should be based on concept of सर्वोदय. How many of you know the concept of सर्वोदय? सर्वोदय को आप 4 वर्ड्स में डिस्क्राइब करो. नहीं आता है तो एटलीस्ट देख के डिस्क्राइब करो, बट एटलीस्ट से समथिंग सो दैट आई कैन वैल्यू एड इन द कमेंट बॉक्सेस फर्दर. व्हाट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सर्वोदय पीपल फॉर यू? Let's so this is the idea that you should focus what that thinker said about society, how economy should be there, and what is the relationship of individual with government, what should be government like. This is the idea here. Coming back to the values part, so about Guru Nanak and his teachings, if you try to connect this part with whatever has been written here in the PPT, like some of them are virtues, like there is this truth here, truthfulness, generosity or compassion here. Some of them are based on society, like non-discrimination based on caste or gender. This is there. Some of them are related to individual, their relationship with God, what is the nature of God itself. Now try to connect this part with this part, and it will be clear to you that you can easily come up with any value here once you are clear with this part, that this is how I have to brainstorm, and this is the idea ethics. कोई भी क्वेश्चन आ जाए आपको brainstorm करना आना चाहिए. The poorest of the poor should benefit from development. All right, okay, yes, that's fine. This is I think related to John Rawls. हम बात करेंगे उस पे. So और अंत्योदय. Are we speaking about Sarvodaya here, that the poorest of the poor should benefit from development? Because Sarvodaya is a little bit different approach here, aspirants. So do try to think upon that also further. So I'll explain that once the reference to Sarvodaya comes up further. Next is how do you contemplate on the contemporary problems? So do tell me whether you have seen my videos regarding syllabus, that how to brainstorm any part of syllabus. I'll bring up with all the parts here, but in my G20 video also, and later on in the essay video also, I have touched up with this part that you should be able to recite your entire syllabus subject wise, even if one wakes you up from sleep. This is the idea. So यहाँ पे if I connect it with the syllabus, then I'll be able to get all the contemporary problems which are there. आज ही एक बार में बना लेते हैं, एंड ये यूटिलाइज दिस फ्रेमवर्क एवरी टाइम जब भी आपको किसी थिंकर के कंटेम्प्रेरी रेलेवेंस के बारे में सोचना हो. सो व्हेनेवर you have to think, you can reach to that point. So in GS2 and GS3, these are particularly more contemporary in nature. So let's start with GS2 and GS3. What are the basic subjects in GS2, aspirants? There is polity, there is governance. What are the other two here? Just try to enlighten me. Just try to teach me further so that I can also remember it. Just try to do that. What are the other subjects in GS2? Other two subjects. Till then, let's write the subjects in GS3 as well. Ma'am, please to cover ethics. Yes, yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. Just a minute. So economy is there. We have here internal security. What are the other subjects in GS2 and GS3 aspirants? If you know, just put in the comment boxes further. So we'll move forward. So in GS2, there is this IR also, social justice also. This is also there. In economics, apart from economics and internal security, there are other subjects also. Environment is there. Science and tech is there. All other subjects are there. You see? So how do you connect it with contemporary problems? पॉलिटी में आज के टाइम पे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? डेमोक्रेसी में इश्यूज हैं. Is there centralization in polity? Can you think of examples around the world regarding centralization of polity? So social justice, environment, IR, governance, IR. Yes, people are answering. Very good. So this is there. Tell the sources. Ma'am, please tell the sources to cover ethics. Rohan, यहाँ पे there's a difference here. Suppose that you have done the foundation classes, then the sources will be different. You just have to follow one book which is prevalent in market about ethics, and then connect all of that with your PYQs, and then you will be done with. But suppose if you have not done the foundation classes, then you will also have to refer extra things, extra notes and videos apart from your class notes also, so as to get that perspective. And most importantly, you will have to follow your PYQs, the trends here, and the understanding from that should be very clear. I'll tell how to brainstorm and how there is this takeaway for 2024. So आप easily समझ जाओगे that what am I saying here. One nation, one election as an example of centralized. Very good, very good, very good example. So this is there. तो क्या ये लिख सकते हैं हम? Violation of human dignity of people. How there is violation? There might be multiple aspects here. Crime rates. क्या कुछ ऐसा आपने सुना है? Like there is this with the help of fake news, there is attack on people, mob violence. This was in news 1 or 2 years back, too much about mob violence, that there was this mob violence by the means of fake news. क्या ये contemporary problem है? In society, what is the contemporary problem? Don't you feel that people are frustrated? Sometimes in cities, they just commit road rage. What are the other problems in societal point of view in our society right now? What are the contemporary problems? आपके हिसाब से वर्ल्ड में अभी मोस्ट प्रेसिंग कंटेम्पररी चैलेंज क्या है? द मोस्ट एग्जिस्टेंशियल चैलेंज इन 2 words. Just tell me that what is the most existential challenges, okay, in the contemporary world right now. Till then, I'll tell about other challenges. What are the other challenges here? There is this nuclear proliferation or the issue of terrorism, violence ultimately, which has been there. All right. So there are multiple issues here. Contemporary challenges. This is there. Mob lynching, extreme polarization of community. Is that the most pressing, most existential challenge of the world? I think the most existential challenge of the world is climate change, global warming. So we need acceptance regarding global warming further, so that we can take action regarding that. Truth should be there, so that we should take action regarding that. Like suppose there's climate change, we need action, we need truth, acceptance. Now has Guru Nanak ji mentioned about truth? Yes. So this was mentioned in the earlier slides that truthfulness is one of the component of Guru Nanak. Are we getting it? Are we getting my idea which I am trying to say? Is road rage in society a problem? Is divisions, communal polarization, क्या ये एक problem है society में? Has Guru Nanak ji told about the universal nature of humanity? Has Guru Nanak ji focused upon humanity? Has Guru Nanak ji focused upon universal love? Because every thinker, every saint focuses upon universal love as a value. क्या इस पे focus है? Are we getting the idea which I am trying to tell? Increase of price of tomatoes. All right. Okay. I mean, that's in India, I mean, in present times. So this is there. Now further, so coming back to the topic, poverty and hunger. Is poverty a problem? Is hunger a problem? Has Sikhism focused upon charity and compassion? Have you participated in any langar? Have you gone to and eaten in any langar conducted by the Gurudwaras? Is it related to the concept of compassion of Guru Nanak Ji? Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? Please say yes in the comment boxes. Global risk report mentions the most pressing issue is denial of climate change. Very good, very good, very good. So this was what I was expecting, aspirants, that how there is this report also. You have mentioned the report also. You can also utilize reports in the paper further. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Okay, how Vasudev Kutumbakam is related to Guru Nanak Ji. Just do try to enlighten me further here. So this was the idea here, that this is how we were proceeding. This is about the novelty, that they are focusing on laws. We'll come to that. How do we have to focus upon the laws here? Now I have mentioned some approaches regarding ethics. Now this you might have seen here. These are the approaches of ethics. But what is my idea here? I'll just take up a question and then I'll explain you that what is exactly my idea. So think about this question which has come up in the exam. Yes, international aid is an accepted form of helping resource-challenged nations. It is from Ethics and International Relations part. Comment on ethics in contemporary international aid. Do focus on the lines here, aid here. What is the difference between aid and relationship? Because when you speak of ethics in contemporary relations, it is different. When you speak of ethics in contemporary international aid, that is different. Support your answer with suitable examples. So we have to also mention the suitable examples here. Now this was also asked in a modified manner in Civilsdaily test series. So this is there that our efforts are also further proving fruitful. This is there. Now look at this part. These are the major approaches of ethics. Like we have deontological ethics. Who has given the deontological ethics, people? Any answers? Have you read about the Immanuel Kant here? Ma'am, can we say urbanization is a social challenge? Yes, I think आप ऐसा बोल सकते हो, Rohan. You can say that, of course. But how will you connect it with Guru Nanak Ji? That's the idea. That आपको सिर्फ वही contemporary problems choose करनी है जिनको आप उस particular thinker से establish कर पाओ. This is the idea. So you'll have to slightly filter your mind there. But this is fruitful for long run. Practice करोगे, time limit में ये चीज आप, you will be able to get this into time limit. You will be able to think this into time limit, and then this will be easy. Immanuel Kant, debt trap diplomacy. Yes, debt trap diplomacy is one example. We'll see that. Immanuel Kant, very good people. So this is the idea. Deontology is there. Now utilitarian is one school. क्या डिफरेंस है डिओन्टोलॉजी एंड यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म में? I'll give an example. I'll give a hint. Deontology में we try to focus on means. Now in utilitarianism, what do we try to focus upon in utilitarianism compared to means? Do try to mention in the comment boxes further, people. This is there. Now there is virtue ethics. Students, have you read about Plato till now? Aristotle and Socrates till now? For freshers, do not worry. अगर आपने ये चीजें नहीं पढ़ी है, it's okay because you will read all of this in your basic reading materials. It is quite basic to ethics. Every type of teacher teaches the ethics thinkers parts. Ends, very good, Amod, very good. So this is there that we try to focus on ends in ethics in the utilitarian part. So this is there. The next is this J approach, that means justice approach. What is justice here? Justice, as you can say, is justice is fairness. Justice approach means whichever thinkers जिन्होंने justice के बारे में बोला. Who have said about justice? Aristotle has mentioned about justice. John Rawls has mentioned about justice. All these thinkers. You see? And I'll explain why am I writing only these key terms. You try to take a screenshot of it and you can also see it later on. But मैं ये बताऊंगी further that why we are taking only these approaches and why we are taking these keywords. So this is there. Aristotle's Nicomachean ethics has elaborated virtue ethics. Very good. So virtue ethics is related to Plato, Socrates and Aristotle. ये believe करते थे that there should be certain virtues which should be in a particular person to be able to live a good life. Alright, this they used to focus. For example, truth. There should be truth inside the person so that they can live a good, a satisfied, a happy life. If all the people in society are like that, if they are virtuous, if they have truth, then there will be a peaceful society. So this was what Plato wanted to say. So this is one example. What are the other virtues, people? You can mention that. What are the other virtues other than truth? The cardinal or the basic virtues here जो आप बता सकते हो. What is the idea here? Now I'll tell this idea. Suppose I am looking at this question and I have to comment upon ethics in contemporary international relations. Now what generally people do, that is they'll write whatever they know, debt trap diplomacy, this example, that example, India versus China, India has a better foreign policy approach, China is having not, and so on and so forth. Justice as architectonic principle, yes, very good, Amod. Gandhiji also, Ambedkar, Aristotle, yes, I agree, they have also mentioned about justice. Very good, people, you are thinking. So, ma'am, I don't know much English, but I'm telling the answers. Very good, very good, very good. So, I'll still try to make the task easy for you. So, अब idea क्या है? That you think about the ethics in contemporary international aid, then you think about these approaches. Just connect here. Is there any debate you can think of means versus end in international relations, in aid particularly? Can you think about justice as an example where in the international aid part, can you connect the virtues that a particular country or a corporate or an NGO or a voluntary organization is connecting or is practicing justice here, is being fair to a people of certain country while giving their aid, that they are fair while distributing the aid to everyone, that they are fair and they are truthful when they are not expecting anything in return. क्या आप ऐसा कुछ सोच सकते हो? Can you think of something? I have written some examples for you. So these are some examples here who are, ethical stakeholders. Now mind you, ethics, क्या इसमें in this question has there been any mention of nation or a country, people? Do try to answer. Is there any mention of a nation or a country here as per your perspective? Polluters pay principle, climate change negotiations. Yes, that's one part. Temperance, wisdom and truth. Yes, very good. The cardinal virtues, the basic virtues, they are there. So there is no mention of nation. So ultimately, the examiner has made her task easy in the sense that you can mention not just about country as part of ethics in international aid. आप NGOs भी mention कर सकते हो, आप कुछ और organizations जो हैं, world organizations, governance institutes, IMF, World Bank, United Nations, आप वो भी mention कर सकते हो. आप MNCs भी मेंशन कर सकते हो. आपको कोई एग्जाम्पल याद हो MNCs का जिन्होंने या तो इंटरनेशनल एड में कोई पॉजिटिव एग्जाम्पल दिया हो या नेगेटिव एग्जाम्पल दिया हो, बोथ ऑफ देम वुड वर्क. सो यहाँ पे क्या है, आई हैव ऑलरेडी रिटन दीज एग्जाम्पल्स विच आर देयर. लाइक स्वीडन इज देयर. Sweden is quite ethical in distribution of its foreign aid. They have been quite generous and they have till now they have utilized UNICEF, UNDP, United Nations institutions to distribute a lot of foreign aid. तो आप स्वीडन के बारे में लिख सकते हो, बिल एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स के बारे में लिख सकते हो, because they have distributed. How many of you use Microsoft devices? I also use Microsoft devices, so that's there, Microsoft based devices. So I think all of us know about Bill Gates. If yes, then type yes in the comment boxes. तो क्या है यहाँ पे, that you are thinking of these examples. So Bill and Melinda Gates is nothing but a foundation of Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. They have distributed a lot of aid around the world, helped in the health crisis also, in education also. So this is there. So now what you try to do is that you just try to connect this with the theories part. Okay, with the approaches part, with the schools of ethics part. So this is the idea here, that the first approach which we are stating is about these, that there is deontology, there is utilitarianism, there is virtues. इसके अलावा I have also mentioned religion here, because sometimes you can frame your argument from religion also. and this is particularly useful in the statement based approach, people. So how many of you face the problems with regard to statement based questions, people? Just try to mention in the comment boxes. आप में से किसको statement based questions में काफी problem होती है? Do you also feel problem in statement based questions कि इसमें लिखे क्या? What do we write in the statement based questions? So if yes, then try to write yes in the comment boxes and try to also type your problem here if possible कि आपकी problem क्या है, exactly what is the problem here, and I'll explain how you can utilize this framework very well in your statement based questions. So I'll form a trick on it and I'll come up with the trick that what are the basic approaches of ethics, and I'll make a short video on it as I have done in Polity and IR also, how to remember ethical approaches in 1 minute. I'll make it. Till then time, hold on, just keep noted, just note it, we'll apply it today and then we can learn it later on. This is there. Now this is the discussion that, okay, this is how we have to approach, this is how we have to frame the structure, basic structure of it. So, but the idea also here is that how do you ensure value addition? Do you people also get problems while mentioning the examples? आप काफी सारे examples लिख के आते हो test series में, but often it happens that the examiner does not give marks, or you are only able to recall examples of only one type. How many of you feel this problem? Any comments, people? That what is the problem with regard to thinking of examples here? क्या problem आती है आपको exactly इसमें? Do try to mention it in the comment boxes. Till then, I'll just explain कि आप कैसे example सोच सकते हो. That how you could think of examples in your paper. How you could think of examples, people? Let's just brainstorm here. So look, in your syllabus, if you look at the ethics syllabus, in your syllabus there is this exact line which is mentioned about human values. Have you people also read the syllabus, people, in ethics? Do you people remember the syllabus? Anyone? Now in human values, they have mentioned a few lines. Lessons from lives of thinkers, leaders, reformers, so on and so forth. These are a few lines. Likewise, they have also mentioned about administrators in the syllabus, public civil service values. So from there, we are taking an example that they are also mentioning about administrators. And then there is this also aspect of religion here. Religion is also there, from where you can get examples. For example, suppose you have to write about non-violence, then you can also mention Jainism, or you have to write about ethical means that one should not do unethical tasks, or one should be morally integral. You can mention about aparigraha, non-stealing, as part of 8 tenets of yoga. This is there. So this is the idea here. So yes, so people do face problems here. So I'll come to it, that how you ensure value addition here. So this is there. Now the idea is that there are these things. You just note it down. You just take a screenshot that there are these things. All right. These are the things here. This is religion. Stories of religion basically. T for thinker, L for leaders. Leaders from which part? If you notice, you get a lot of examples of leaders in world history, post-independence history, modern history, these parts. Likewise, you get a lot of examples regarding administrators, diagrams, little bit of diagrams for value addition, and stories. How do you remember it? There's a trick mentioned here. Do note this trick down. NLTDRAR. That means new landline telephone that rats ate religiously. What is the story here? People, we are enlightened people, you became bureaucrat. I hope all my students do well in the exams and in their life. So, you became bureaucrat. Now, you want to tell the government or any authority about a corruption case. So, you are urgently searching for a landline phone. Your phone is somehow you have left it. So, you are searching for a landline phone, and suddenly the rats come up and they start eating the landline phone here. So what is the trick? New landline, just repeat with me once again. New landline telephone, 8 rats, this is that, and this is D for diagram in that. New landline telephone that Rats ate religiously. The rats are eating the new landline telephone very religiously. This is the idea, just note it down. What is the idea here? What you have to do? Now whenever you see a statement, आप जब भी कोई statement देखते हो जिसमें आपको example सोचने हैं, suppose आप अपने notes पढ़ रहे हो ethics के, and you feel that in the last 4 pages there is no example of the theory mentioned. सिर्फ theory mentioned है और examples है भी तो they are not qualitative. Just think about it. What is the example from newspaper? This N stands for newspaper. That means what is the example? You can link it from current affairs. Suppose you are thinking about compassion, then socho, think there that what has been done with regard to compassion during COVID times. Has been there any NGO which I remember? If not, can I prepare it? Any NGO who might have practiced compassion? How to address statement based? I'll come to it. The same approach, ethical schools plus examples. I'll come to it. Just hold on for some time, just some time, like 5 to 10 minutes. Am I clear? If yes, then mention crystal clear in the comment boxes that yes, ma'am, you're clear. So I'll move forward further. This is the newspaper part. What is the part of L? This is leaders. What is the part of T? This is thinkers. What is the part of D? This is diagram. What is the part of R? This is reformers. What is the part of A? Administrators and religion. This is there. So अब आपको you just don't have to think about examples from one sphere, from administration, from philosopher or any thinker, what might they have said, from any other aspect. You have to think of examples about any particular statement or any particular written paragraphs and something in your notes based on this. That you have to think multidimensionally regarding examples. एक एग्जाम्पल न्यूज़पेपर से दो, एक एग्जाम्पल थिंकर से दो एग्जाम में सेम स्टेटमेंट के लिए, एक एग्जाम्पल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर से दो सेम उसमें, एक एग्जाम्पल में रिलीजन का मेंशन करो, बुद्धिज्म, सिखिज्म, जैनिज्म. दिस इज द आइडिया हियर. So am I clear? If yes, then mention yes in the comment boxes. Students, please try to be a little bit interactive. So this is there. Now we'll come towards this body part. All right. That how do we address the body part? So because people were asking me that right now that how do we address the statement based questions. So let me first of all just try to tell that how do you address the statement based questions. So just read this statement based question. It says the simplest arts of kindness are by more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in a prayer. It is act. The simplest acts of kindness. It is C rather than R. Simplest acts of kindness are by far most powerful than heads bowing in prayer. That means you should practice kindness in your real life rather than praying, rather than just praying or following God. This is there. Yes, how to address statement. Yes, thank you, thank you. So let's move forward. This is there. This has also been, by the way, asked by Civilsdaily in a modified way. So you can consider joining the test series. Sajal sir also addresses this in his Smash Mains program. So this is there. Now I'll tell you the same thing which I have addressed right now. Now looking at the statement, we've understood the statement that act of kindness, helping someone is more important than praying. Simply this is there. Now you try to think of examples. What are the examples? Have you read anything like that about kindness, compassion in your current affairs? Have you read anything related to it? So in 2021, actually there was a Padma Shri winner, Sindhutai Sapkal. She was given Padma Shri for having these because she was abandoned in her childhood. So she practiced compassion and she helps a lot of people by her acts of compassion. Likewise, do you know about Bachpan Bachao Foundation, people? Do you know about Bachpan Bachao Foundation? Which person is related to Bachpan Bachao Foundation? Just do tell me that which person is related to it and what do they do? Any act you do, you know that this they do. This can be a good example of current affairs, that you have read this thing in current affairs. Now you'll just try to mention it as an example. By the way, we have not come to the arguments part till now, but just as an example, we are thinking. We are brainstorming in our mind. This is there. Now about the thinkers part. So in thinkers, can you think of any Indian thinker who might have said something about compassion? This is one example that Chanakya also mentioned, that a king should be, the foremost priority of a king should be the welfare of his subject. So this is coming up as an example of kindness. But any other example of an Indian thinker you might know who has said about kindness? Have you read about Gandhiji's talisman, people? Child trafficking, Satyarthi, Kailash Satyarthi. Yes, that's right, that's right. So Kailash Satyarthi is there. How come you are so beautiful? This is because of my parents, my genes maybe, and this is because of God's luck. So any other, I think that's the debate. Vivekanand, how Vivekanand is related to kindness? VCCV, just try to tell me that. How Vivekanand is related to kindness. Guru Nanak, yes, helping other people, the idea of langar, kindness, compassion, this is there. The comments are good, very well appreciated. So this is the idea that you try to mention about religion here, that from R, what is this? Religion. D, I don't think in statement-based questions there is much scope of diagram. It is there in some things, but in statement-based questions it's not there. Religion, Seva is Shiva, and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So what do I mean to say about reformers? I'll just tell a little story here, because ethics is, I think, incomplete without stories. Mother Teresa, very good, very well put up, but I'll just explain. There's a catch here in mentioning Mother Teresa. I'll just come to that part just little bit. So now, or if you know, you can try writing in the comment boxes. Now, what's there is that Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, whenever you used to go out of home, whenever he used to go out of home, or unko dikhta tha that there's a homeless person without clothes, that this person is poor, impoverished, then he used to donate his blanket to that person. No matter how much cold is there, no matter how much winter is there, it was his practice. Whenever he'll get out of the house, the first person he sees without a blanket, shivering in cold, he'll donate his blanket. This is this is compassion. This is what we mean by kindness. Simple acts of kindness, people. So Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar fits very well in this part. Can we say kindness comes from empathy? To some extent, but there is a difference between empathy and compassion or kindness. Empathy is like you are thinking, you are able to understand someone and you are trying to think in their own shoes. But compassion is something different. Empathy you can practice with your fellow colleagues. Suppose there is problem with your fellow colleague or your friend, you can have empathy that, okay, I understand. But compassion is, suppose you saw a poor beggar, you thought of helping them. So this is compassion. So there is a difference in the degree here, with whom you practice compassion and with whom you practice empathy. So this is the idea. Turkey, Operation Dost, kindness. Yes. Very well put up, Sachin. Very well, actually. Very good. Because this is you are linking international relations with ethics here. Very good. Nice. Vivekanand promoted idea of universal compassion while propagating Advaita Vedanta. If you want to serve God, serve men first. Yes, Seva hi Shiva hai. This is what has been mentioned in your spectrum aspirants also. So most aspirants do read about modern history from spectrum at least once. So this is mentioned there also, by the way. So this is how you have to. This is the takeaway for 2024. Whatever thinkers are there, whatever socio-religious reformers are there in your spectrum. Now, next time or today, just go back, read it, and just connect it with the portions of ethics. Where can I exactly mention that in the ethics? And this is how your preparation of ethics is done, newspaper, static, etc. So, are we able to understand how we have to frame the examples here about simple act of kindness? Now, how will we connect it to the theory part? Same ethical based approaches, utilitarian, deontological, virtuous, religion based, that means Sikhism. For freshers, students, do not worry. आप ये सब पढ़ोगे आगे जाके. So this is very basic, by the way, so no need to worry. So this is there. अब क्या है question that you have to now say that why simple act of kindness is more important than prayer? Because we have to focus on the right means as per deontology. That आप किसी को help कर रहे हो kindness में, that is the right means, that is the right way, rather than having an end that I have to gain moksha or I want this from God, so I should pray. Rather than this, I am helping because I am finding that someone is in trouble. So this is there. India's COVID vaccine difference between compassion and kindness. Okay, we'll come to that later in the last part of the video because I have to like finish it in a time limit also. So just a little bit, just hold on. I'll just tell the basic idea here. So this is there. Why should we practice kindness? Because as I said earlier also, it is related to a virtue. आप virtue practice कर रहे हो कोई, ठीक है, यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग कंपैशन, यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग सिंपैथी टुवर्ड्स समवन, यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग वर्च्यू ऑफ काइंडनेस इटसेल्फ. तो यहाँ पे वर्च्यू बेस्ड एथिक्स आती है. सो एक एंड दैट्स सो नाउ यू ट्राई टू फ्रेम पैराग्राफ्स हियर in the statement box. You have described the statement in the introduction that this is what is meant by the statement in simple words. That's it. Even if you don't write anything, it's fine. In the apart from the description, now you form a paragraph about this. That simple act of kindness ensure better result. किसी की help हो जाएगी, someone will be uplifted. It can ensure upliftment of most marginalized. It can ensure antyodaya. It can ensure a substantial change for someone. Now mention an example out of this. That this Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar used to do that. Now write any other example like this, any current affairs based, that how someone helped a lot to people ensuring good results. Now you change the paragraph that it is not just about good results, but it is also about the right means, as it is a right way to help people in their need. Now write about example. Any example from here you take. It is right way, as Swami Vivekanand also mentioned that seva is Shiva. Are we getting my example? DUCG क्या है ma'am? I'll just explain it, Sachin. So what is DUCG? Deontological, utilitarian, consequentialist. There is a difference between consequentialist and utilitarian. If you're not able to understand it right now, don't worry. ये सब आप पढ़ते हो approaches ethics की book में. Justice, this is justice based approach, and V is virtue based approach. So this is DUCG. So was I able to understand the approach and the examples well? If yes, then do write yes in the comment boxes, or write all clear in the comment boxes, so that we are at least clear that yes, the concept has been very well understood and the idea has been very well understood. Migration and relief operations management post disaster, yes, this is right. Mitigation and relief operations, yes, but do try to connect it with kindness, Vijay Lal. So do try to connect it with kindness, that how it is more kind and how it is more important than prayer. So if you mention it as an example to an argument, then it would fit well. So was I able to understand? No comments coming up. Was I able to understand my approach here? That this is how you can frame the arguments based on taking help from the approaches. Iska ratta maar lo. D, U, C, J, V, R. There is I also here. Intuition based approach. I'll explain that also. What is that? ये भी मैं explain करूँगी. इसको रट लो. And then whenever you see a statement, just play with that statement as per this. ये सारी approaches लगा दो उसमें. Just fit in all those approaches. You will have more than sufficient parts and more than sufficient paragraphs for your body. One paragraph for each approach. That's it. That's the way to go in the statements. Has anyone told you this approach earlier also? Aspirants, do try to be engaging in the comment boxes. So this is the idea, that this is how you have to approach here. Now coming to the part here, that this is the statement, but little bit in one sentence, in one line or in a few lines, we'll also try to write that even religion or even prayer can also help develop kindness. What is the example here? That religion helps develop kindness in us. This is the example, that religion helps us in developing of virtues. They help us in strengthening our character and behavior. And there is this example. So Advait Vedanta, someone had already mentioned Advait Vedanta in the comment boxes. Clear, ma'am? Yes. Okay, nice. No. Harshita, what is the exact doubt here? I'll just clear that up. So Advait Vedanta, what is there? How many of you have heard about Adi Shankaracharya? his philosophy of Advait Vedanta, that Atma is Brahma himself, that the entire world is one, that there is this only one energy pervading in the entire universe, and soul, by the knowledge of it, by gaining knowledge of it, can submerge or can gain moksha by getting this knowledge that there is Atma which has to be finally merged into Brahman. So this is the idea. How it is related to kindness? If there is no self, then it is more probable then an individual will help other people. Then an individual will practice kindness. They'll practice compassion. So this is the idea here of Advait Vedanta and also of Bhakti and Sufi sense. How many of you have read about Kabir? Because Kabir fits very well here in this part also, that there should be no rituals, as in less focus on rituals and more on values. But coming to this part, how religion helps you teach morals. So the concept of love, because Bhakti and Sufi is about love, so the concept of love helps us ensure that we practice kindness towards all human beings. Am I right here? Do try to mention in the comment boxes if you think I am right. Let's be honest, I am taking ethics more serious from now onwards. Very good, very good. It's like helping hands are better than praying lips. Yes, 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 Vijayalal, that's the idea. Exactly, that's the idea. So this is there, that this is how you have to approach the answers with regard to value addition. So this was, is this value addition more clear now? Because this was what my idea was. Now coming to this, that how are other parts of one approach, we already seen that what are the different ethical approaches, schools of ethics based on which we can frame our answers. There are other approaches also. There is this approach of civil service value based also, or there is this approach of definition based also. So आपको क्या लगता है, what have been the questions regarding definition based in the answers in this paper, aspirants? This was question number 1A. This is about definitions, defining the concepts, mentioning examples. What do you understand by moral integrity and professional efficiency? But the question is not stopping here. This is the context. In the context of corporate governance in India, illustrate with suitable examples. Now, before I start anything, just give me a few examples of the corporates from the corporate world, the people who are considered ethical. One example is on everyone's lips, Ratan Tata. But if one can't feel self, how one can understand other feelings? The idea is of selflessness. That means I am not differentiating between my own self and others. So everyone is one. If everyone is part of the same energy, if I am follower of Advait Vedanta, then the other person's suffering will be my suffering. This is the idea here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. So just give examples of some corporates apart from Ratan Tata. Ma'am, can we give Nolan principles? Nolan principles are mentionable regarding ethics in governance part and that part. We'll come to that. How do we mention Nolan principles? I have that in the PPT itself. So let's wait a little bit. So just give me some examples of corporates who have played an important part in ethical, who are considered more ethical other than Ratan Tata. So just try to give that. Till then, let's see what is the answer here. So whenever you have to define that, what do you understand by it? Then just try to give some significance of it in the introduction. Why? Because when you are mentioning significance, then what you are doing, you are setting the context. आप उसके लिए background set कर रहे हो जो आपको यहाँ mention करना है. You have to define it properly. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Azim Premji, very good. Azim Premji Foundation, PK, very nice. Ethical Capitalism, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, yes, that's also convenient, but it's about corporate life. So Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, yes, about Bill Gates, that's fine. Yes, that's a corporate example here. So this is nice. So about the meaning of it, so before that, we just mentioned the significance, that okay, this is the importance of it. Now we mentioned the significance. Now we'll coming to meaning, that what do you understand by moral integrity? Aspirants, what do you understand by integrity? Do comment. आपके लिए integrity का क्या मतलब है? Is integrity similar to honesty for you? What do you mean by integrity? Just try to answer that. Till then, we'll come here. That will write the meaning here. will define here and will already prepare the definitions here. So this is there. Now what we'll do is that now we'll think of examples, okay, because we have to support this part. तो अब हम examples में पहुंचेंगे, and there are some examples which I have already mentioned in the corporate life itself, that there is this Narayan Murthy's example of Infosys, because Narayan Murthy, because of his strong ethics, had developed Infosys as an ethical organization. And as per a 2003 survey by Financial Times and PwC, the Infosys was mentioned in one of the top 50 companies who practice integrity around the world. So this is related to moral integrity, that the moral integrity of one person is leading to establishment of integrity of a company. This is one example. Now, can we give CSR Sandeep Maheshwari? How Sandeep Maheshwari is related to ethics in corporate world, ethics and corporate governance, how it is related to moral integrity? आप explain करो in the comments. If it fits well, मैं उसको जरूर incorporate करूँगी. Corporate social responsibility, that's a good example of CSR, but here I am trying to tell you about individuals who have played important role with regard to moral integrity. Why? Because यहाँ पे what I am trying to say is that first think of these examples multidimensional way. Also, you can mention CSR in between after definition, that one aspect of this integrity and moral integrity has been the manifestation of CSR. But because CSR was brought up by government, so that's why I didn't mention it. But any other examples, Vijay Lal Busa, if you can mention. HDFC, you can mention the individual from HDFC. I think people are looking at it from the slides maybe. So Aditya Puri, as a former head of the HDFC bank, he was very famous for ensuring customer satisfaction and a very integral sort of behavior in the bank itself. So there was strong focus on the morals. So do read about this example further, people, that what is the example. Wipro, you might have heard. Wipro, काफी लोगों ने सुना होगा about computer services, about IT company. Wipro has been formed by Azim Premji, and Azim Premji, practicing a lot of moral integrity, led to the foundation, this Azim Premji Foundation, which plays important role in education. So what do we mean by moral integrity? That means you practice morals and you are integral. There are two words. Morals means you understand what is good or bad. What is good, what is bad. This is there. Integrity means you practice honesty even when no one is watching. So what does moral integrity means? Being good, practicing good even when no one is watching. Practicing or behaving morally, what is morally as good as per you? Behaving morally even when no one is watching you. आपको नहीं बोला गवर्नमेंट ने कोई फाउंडेशन बनाओ, लोगों की हेल्प करो, still you are helping people. This is the idea. All right. Ma'am, not from slide. Okay. MRF Pace Foundation, very good example. Adani Enterprises, what is the example? What has Adani Enterprises exactly done regarding moral integrity? If you can tell me, then we'll incorporate that also. So this is the idea. Are we clear till now? Are you understanding what I am trying to say here? What we have to, how we have to overall think of the ethics as in terms of questions here, in definition based questions. Are we clear? Just write yes in the comment boxes. So this is there. What you feel is what you do irrespective of situation. Yes, that's slightly irrespective of the situation. So yes, that's there. Professional efficiency is slightly different from moral integrity. It's not about moral conduct. What it's about? It's about ability to perform the task competently, efficiently in a timely manner. आप competent हो, if some task is given to you, you just perform that in a timely manner. Now I have one question. If you can write about examples like Jack Welch, who was the head of General Electrics as a company here, because in his term, there was this huge rise of the company's revenues under Jack Welch. Can we write such an example? Do mention in the comment boxes whether we can write such an example. Till then, I'll just slightly explain something other than what has been mentioned in the question. Look, the question is about moral integrity with respect to corporate governance. They are asking about corporate governance. But on internet, when I was searching for it, I found a good example with respect to moral integrity overall, with respect to integrity and moral integrity overall. So if in case in future, in 2024, if a question is asked about moral integrity generally, then you can mention a story of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. When he was about to die, he was leaving Delhi for rest into the mountainous areas. At that point of time, when he was about to die, just a few months before that, he had kept a box with him. He gave this box to his daughter. So he gave this box to his daughter, Maniben, and he said that when I die, if I die, give this box to Prime Minister. So Maniben, when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel died, she gave this box to Prime Minister. What was there in the boxes? It was more than 2 million amounts of rupees. What does it denote? That Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was practicing moral integrity. He could have had his funds, these type of funds, with himself. He could not have, there was no need to give because no one could have known, but he gave it. And similarly, whenever he had to talk with the two Congress provincial chiefs, because he used to talk a lot because of his official work, he was at a high rank in Congress, so he used to utilize the telephone of Congress, but at the end, he always used to pay its bills from his own pocket. Even though he is doing official work, no one is pressuring him to pay the bills, but still he used to pay the bills because he used to feel that I have talked, I should pay the bills. This is the example. Adani Enterprises, yes, Adani Enterprises, you can mention with respect to Hindenburg report that this is a negative example, aspirants. So yes, you are right that this is a negative example. So am I clear about this example? If yes, do mention yes in the comment boxes that yes, it is clear. Coming back to it, no one answered whether we can mention this in our answer or not. No one has actually said anything. So I would say you don't have to mention this. Why? Because look properly, the question is with respect to corporate governance in India. Because it is mentioned in India, it is preferable to mention examples with respect to India. What are examples of professional efficiency? Have you get knowledge? Have you ever read about the story of Jio? How Jio became a prominent player in the market? So have you, in the telecom sector, have you read about that? Yes, it's a very good example. Lal Bahadur Shastri resigned as railway minister after the train incident. Very good, very nice. So this is nothing but an example of professional efficiency about Reliance Industries and Mukesh Kumar Ambani, that they were actually focusing on reducing the prices, and they provided efficient services, qualitative in less prices, and that is why there was this rise of this player. So this is there. Likewise, there is this example of Natarajan Chandrasekharan. Who is Natarajan Chandrasekharan? Do note it down for your exam also. He is the head of TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, and he has been heading TCS from 2017 to 2022. And under his tenure, like in 2017, there was this revenue of around 6 lakh crores or something of TCS, but now it has risen to 30-40%, like around right now, it is around 9 lakh crores or something. So this is the extent that under his tenure, the revenue has increased, profits have increased, and that's why Natarajan Chandrasekharan is a famous example of professional efficiency. This is what you have to write. आपको नहीं लिखना that कोई भी generic example नहीं लिखना that without name, that a company, if it does well, it can ensure efficiency. No, you have to write specific examples, and this is what is meant by specific examples. Do prepare them further. So likewise, there are multiple examples in this context. So this was about the part of definition, that if there is asked about definition, do mention about definition, and then do try to frame arguments from your examples only. Writing something around them and then mentioning examples, so that examiner ko it looks more complete, and try to think examples from multiple dimensions. So this is there. This we have already discussed. Regarding ethics based approaches. Regarding other approaches, like can we follow any other approach other than the school of ethics which is given, which was what I explained here? That I'll try to tackle now. That means civil service. So now again coming back to syllabus of ethics aspirants, have you seen the syllabus? Have you seen the syllabus with respect to civil service values? क्या आपको values पता है syllabus में जो mentioned है? All the civil service values which are mentioned in the syllabus, क्या आपको वो याद है? Do you remember that? And here is where I answer that Nolan principles also, aspirants, that what are these Nolan principles? So this is where Nolan principles will come to your aid in this approach. Let us see this further. So what are these values? Anyone, what are civil service values? These are nothing but civil service values. Dedication, impartiality, compassion, transparency, objectivity, honesty, and others might have been also mentioned. So what I'll do is that I'll make a video for this also, how to remember all the civil service values given in ethics syllabus in 1 minute. But as of now, just try to vaguely remember कि अच्छा ये सारी values है. For freshers who have not read anything now, आप बस सिलेबस ओपन करो, आपको ये सारी वैल्यूज दिख जाएंगी और ये सारी का आप मीनिंग भी यू विल रीड इट फर्दर. सो दिस इज देयर. नाउ व्हाट विल डू इज दैट इन दिस केस स्टडी इज अबाउट एन ऑनेस्ट ऑफिसर, एन IAS ऑफिसर, and who is the director of transport corporation, but he comes to know that there is a minister who is corrupt, जिसके बारे में the opposition has told to the IAS that this minister is corrupt. This is the story here, that there is this case of corruption and there is this fear that there is corruption here. Now read this B part. What is this part saying? In the light of the above case, comment upon the ethical issues that may arise due to politicization of bureaucracy. So they are not asking about ethical issues with respect to that case, and that is why मैंने कहा था aspirants in the starting that case studies have been made easy. Why? Because you don't have to think about the ethical issues related to this case study itself. That means they are not going that much specific. They are asking broader issue. आपने politicization of bureaucracy अगर पढ़ा है, आप उसके ethical issues you can pre-prepare. आप पहले से prepare करके रख सकते हो. This is the idea, that you pre-prepare these parts. Am I clear? If yes, then write in the comment boxes. Telecom revolution in India, Sam Pitruda. Yes, Vijay, that's right. That's a fair example. That's good. Very well appreciated. So now if you have to write about politicization of bureaucracy, because this is related to ethics and governance portions, then simply think about all the values you have read in your syllabus. You have read in your reading materials. These are the values. Now connect it to politicization of bureaucracy. That how politicization of bureaucracy is impacting impartiality, how it is impacting objective functioning of the government, how it is impacting dedication, because political pressure होगा तो bureaucrat जो है, he'll not work with proper 100% dedication. This is the idea. If politicization is there, then there will be less focus on compassion for the common people, because bureaucrat will focus more on benefits of politicians or political benefits rather than the benefits of people. Am I clear? If yes, then do mention yes in the comment boxes. So this is what I mean. Are we getting this approach? Are we able to understand how we have to approach here? Why we are putting this value-based approach here rather than other approaches? Are we clear upon that part? So this is the idea. Likewise for other approaches that you mentioned here. So this is there. But if it happens that you are not able to think of, you are not able to come up with proper points here, like around 5-6 points here. If that is not the case here, then you just have to do one thing. So there are these approaches here. Now what is there is that there is other thing also you can try. So just try to remember the syllabus of ethics. I'll just try to explain it in simple terms. What is the syllabus? Could we write in kindness example that in Asia Cup 2023 final, Mohammad Siraj donates his man of the match prize to the Sri Lankan ground staff. That's fine, but How will you connect this kindness example to the how will you compare it to the prayer part? Because the kindness example there, this kindness, this was related to prayers, that that an act of kindness is more important than prayers. How will you show that this act is more important than praying, than this thing? So you see, your example should be a little bit strong here. I would say that try to use more stronger examples. Coming back to it, can you people recall the parts of syllabus? Do try to mention the major parts of ethics syllabus for me. Do try to enlighten me. What are the major sections of the GS paper 4 ethics syllabus? Mission Karmayogi, can we mention capacity building, ma'am? Yes, but in which context, Vijilal? Which context are we mentioning about Mission Karmayogi? In which context do you want to mention it? In which question do you want to mention it? Politicization of bureaucracy, that means are you suggesting a solution? Are we speaking about the conclusion part here? Not for that question. Okay. So what are the syllabus of ethics? What is the syllabus of ethics? What is the syllabus of GS paper 4? Any mention one line? So this is nothing but the syllabus of ethics broadly, that there is this part of ethics and human interface in the syllabus. Whenever you read a book regarding ethics, three things are written: ethics, integrity, aptitude. इतना तो रटा ही होना चाहिए. This is there. Now along with aptitude, I want you to remember one more thing, which is related to attitude. Is it done? So this is there. Now along with that, do try to remember the values also. In values, there are two things mentioned here. Not just the basic human values which have been given, as we have discussed earlier, there is this civil service values also which is given. And finally, आपको नहीं लगता that this is becoming too philosophical, too theoretical? Ethics, values, integrity. So there is one more aspect which is about governance here, which is mentioned, that there should be governance in ethics. There are issues here in governance like problems related to corruption, and then mention about probity in governance also here. This is nothing but your syllabus. For this also, I'll bring up emotional intelligence, probity in governance. Very good. People are answering about parts of the syllabus. So yes, emotional intelligence will we'll try to remember along with attitude itself. So what the point here is that, the point is that I'll bring up a separate video for this also, how to remember this in 1 minute. But as of now, just try to broadly remember. ये हमारे syllabus के basic parts हैं. अब आप यहाँ से इनको compare करो. What we have to compare here, that how there are issues, ethical issues in politicization of bureaucracy. Now you see the syllabus. In syllabus, there is this mention of governance. In governance, we have three basic aspects. In my GS2 paper analysis also, I told in governance, three basic aspects connected to e-governance: efficiency, transparency, accountability. So one of them is accountability. That means if there is a problem of there is politicization of bureaucracy, अगर politics का interference bureaucracy में बहुत ज़्यादा है, that means accountability ensure नहीं होगी. Why? Because the bureaucrat will be more answerable to the politician, to the political master than the government. And there is difference between the government and the political master. So this is there. Likewise, there will be this breach of some human values, जैसे कि compassion. So this might be there. This is what I want to say in this part. Ethics in public administration. Yes, that's one of the parts. Ethics in public administration. Yes. So this was about this approach, that there could be this civil service value based approach one, and there could be this syllabus of ethics based approach itself. That whenever you don't get an idea, just try to recall syllabus of ethics. Syllabus में क्या पढ़ा था और syllabus क्या था, उसका broadly ध्यान रखो, and then try to frame points. So this was about this part. About the next part, where we had seen earlier that probity is an essential system for effective system of governance and socio-economic development. If you have to come up with points like brainstorming points in this part, you just have to think about governance first of all, socio-economic development. Break both the governance and socio-economic development here, and then connect it with probity. So first of all, you should prepare a very solid definition of probity. You should read about probity. to be able to come up with answer here. And regarding the examples, I have mentioned the examples here, that what are the examples for probity in governance and probity in socio-economic development. So you can see this slide or this PDF after the video itself in the description. So you'll be better able to understand. So till then I'll move to the next part, because there's this lack of time. So I'm not explaining it entirely, because this might not be that possible to explain all the answers. But if till now you have been able to get whatever I want to convey in this video, then do comment yes in the comment boxes. अगर आपको अभी सब कुछ समझ में आ रहा है यहाँ तक, if majorly things have been clear, then do mention yes in the comment boxes. Coil system, yes, that's a good example. Vijayalal Busa, yes, that's good example. So now the next is that whenever you think a question, you try to think from individual to family to society to community to nation to global. You just expand your spheres. You try to think in different spheres and just keep expanding your spheres as you go on. This is the next part, that how you can do it. Let's see with this question. So this question is about corruption, that corruption is because of failure of core values. Certain core values are not there, and that is why there is corruption. What measures can be adopted to uplift core values in the society? Society में आप क्या measures adopt करोगे to be able to uplift the core values? Namaste, very well, good evening. So how do you approach it? You just try to frame different spheres. What are these? Let's look at that. So you go from individual first. What is individual? Individual is nothing but what does individual practice? Generally, individual has contact with family. This is there. And generally, where does individual learn his lessons? There is the school. Then afterwards, go towards society. In society, what you can do, these are also parts of society only, by the way, social structures. But there is this aspect of caste, etc., religion, but I'm not bringing up that, because we have to focus on ethical, that what are the measures to ensure values. Now, whenever there is question, not just about probity as a value, but any question, how do you ensure people follow honesty in the society? How do you ensure people are more value-based in the society? How do you ensure that people are more compassionate in the society? Any value, just try to remember, just take a screenshot of it or refer it later in the video. Just have this framework with you. That I have to first of all think of school. That means I have to think how parents can teach probity to people, how parents can teach compassion to children. Likewise in school, how education system can be streamlined in this manner. How we can ensure community involvement here, people's participation here. For example, how did we bring the ethics of cleanliness or the virtue of cleanliness among people through Swachh Bharat mission efforts? How did we ensure by community participation there in the Swachh Bharat mission? That is one example. Likewise, how to involve and how to utilize civil society organizations to ensure certain core values. How government and CSO should collaborate to ensure core values among people. This is one part. Likewise, awareness campaigns and role models. This is that there should be some role models in society, right? आपको पता होना चाहिए some role models, so that you can imbibe that same thing, to copy, to sort of learn from a role model. So how to promote role models in society. This is there. Okay, all right. So you can notice it down. So this is there. So this was the idea in society. But if the question is asking not just about society, but in general, that how we can ensure development of honesty. It's not mentioning about society, but generally, you see, or how we can ensure development of this value, any value. There are further points here regarding that. So what is that point? About institutions. that your institutions can also help develop that. For example, if in governance you want to develop that, then we can utilize judiciary as an institution, that the judges should ensure whatever acts are unconstitutional, they are to be declared as unconstitutional, and they should play an activist stand here. They should restrain the executive from taking the rights of the people, and so on and so forth, for certain values, to develop certain values. So you can also utilize the institutions part, multiple institutions जो value building में आपको help कर सकते हैं. So this is the idea about this. CAC, CVC, social audit, yes, 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 very nice. So CAG, CVC can be utilized. Now there is this general syllabus based. In some questions, although this is an ethics paper, people, do we appreciate, क्या आपको लगता है, do you feel that in ethics based papers we should always write content with respect to ethics and not with respect to certain general things? Do you also agree? If yes, then type yes in the comment boxes. But the idea is that in some of the questions it will not work. In some of the questions you will have to write syllabus based things. Certain syllabus based things, like you should focus that there is this awakening of women. Now here they have already mentioned that Jawaharlal Nehru statement that once she is on the move, the family moves, village moves, nation moves. So they are suggesting that we should mention this approach of spherical approach. You can write that, but I would suggest that do not write in that manner, because if you write in that manner, then you might feel stuck about awakening of women. Rather, try to connect it with the entire syllabus of general studies, from GS2, polity, governance, international relations, social justice, economics, internal security, the practice we just did some times back. Just try to do that, so that you will be able to come up with certain points regarding awakening of women. Few 1 or 2 points in starting, which should be based on morals, values, because it is ethics paper. But then you write about these values, you write about general points. Why am I mentioning it? Because this will help in such type of questions, where it is not specifically mentioned that there is this speakers, that there is this talk of awakening with respect to ethics or moral awakening. No such part is mentioned, just general awakening. That means connected with whatever you can think of in terms of awakening. Women's Reservation Bill 2023, political empowerment. Okay, that's one aspect here. So likewise in case studies also, in this case study in question number 12, it is mentioned that you are a bureaucrat and you see your son is feeling very bullied in the school. Uski bullying hoti hai son ki, उसे परेशान किया जाता है. You went to a function with your son and you were passing from there in front of the bullies, doing nothing but just passing. But then this was spread up in social media, saying that you have physically harassed someone, or you have actually physically bullied some children on the sports field. And then some friends of you have suggested that you also make a counter video to clarify, and you have made a counter video to clarify. Now this question is asking about the ethical issues. Discuss the ethical issues in the use of social media. Now, before getting to the schools and before getting to the part of approaches or ethics related part, here I would suggest that you first write about the syllabus, that what is connected to syllabus with respect to social media. Because again, do mention one thing, they are not asking about the ethical issues involved in the case study. They are asking, based on the above, discuss ethical issues involved in the use of social media. And that is why I am saying again and again that the case study was a little bit easy. Yes, people are mentioning quote. Yes, very well appreciated. Keep mentioning such comments and keep mentioning such content in the comment boxes, so that we can further add value to maximum people's preparation. So now, before thinking about ethical issues, do connect social media to your entire parts of syllabus. Like we read about privacy, we read about cyberbullying, we read about the society part, how it can help, how it can impact society, different sections of society. Then you try to connect it with the ethical issues. that what are the ethical issues involved here. Use of wrong means, effect on human dignity of someone by bullying them, by trolling them. So have you seen any trolling of a prominent person? If you have seen, do mention in the comment boxes. आपने किसके बारे में सुना है about trolling? About whom you have heard about trolling with respect to some prominent person जिसकी आपने trolling देखी हो social media पे. Have you seen trolling of a prominent person on social media? Do mention that prominent person. Social media like Me Too movement, naming and shaming. Yes, that's an example, but do try to be careful here because some cases of this Me Too movement, they were genuine also. So do try to be a little careful. Either know about an exact case of Me Too which was fake, which led to damage of reputation of a person and which led to media trial and which was unnecessary media trial. So that way. So this is how you have to approach this part. Finally, this is reading material based parts. Like suppose if you encounter a question with respect to emotional intelligence, then rather than framing it based on the parts of the syllabus, frame about what are the 5 components of emotional intelligence. And here aspirants, the diagram will also help you because you can simply draw a diagram here. Components of EI, write here components of EI and mention what are the 5 components. What are the 5 components of emotional intelligence? Any one you might be able to recall right now? Talking, IWA chief, Johnny Depp case. Yes, very nice, very good, very well appreciated. So yes, Johnny Depp is one type of example aspirant of naming and shaming of a particular person on social media. Do try to mention further more examples regarding trolling in social media. So what are the 5 components? Like awareness, self-awareness, self-regulation, self-motivation. Then we have social awareness, social motivation. Sometimes people combine these self-awareness and regulation to become 4 or 5, either of this. You can draw a diagram here and then try to connect pros with this part. That how, question is asking, how emotional intelligence is actually contributing, is leading to more success compared to the intelligence quotient. So how your IQ is less important, how EQ is more important for success. Now in this, just connect it with these body parts. How it is more important? It will help you become more aware. If you are more aware, you can have more presence of mind. More presence of mind means better success. This is the idea. Are we able to understand? If yes, then mention yes in the comment boxes. So this is there. Likewise, social awareness or social motivation. That means if I'm emotionally intelligent, I'll motivate my team to work hard. Okay, I'll be able to create some vision in them and be able to fire something in them that you have to work hard, achieve your goals. And that is nothing but emotional intelligence, use of emotional intelligence for your own success. This is there. Now think of these examples. These are some examples where emotional intelligence has led to better success. So this is there. That there was this Sundar Lal Bahuguna. How many of you have read it in your post-independence history? So what is this case about? Like what was the contribution of Sundar Lal Bahuguna? It was with respect to environment. But do tell me further that what was his contribution. Till then we'll move to the next part. That there was this there have been other examples also, like Oprah Winfrey. How many of you have heard about Oprah Winfrey? She is an American anchor who leads a show, and she because of her emotional intelligence, being able to have better connect with people and being able to understand people, risen out of poverty, race, gender discrimination, she is so efficient in understanding and in interacting with the people that she is very popular there in the United States with her show, which was first released on the radio. So this is there. So no one has told me, no one has told what was the contribution of Sundar Lal Bahuguna or what was he about. I'll tell this was about Chipko movement, that he was able to motivate people to take actions for the preservation of environment. And this is nothing but emotional intelligence, because he was able to fire something in the people, fire some vision in the people, that you have to take action with regards to emotional intelligence. Am I clear here? Are we going on the right lines? Likewise, there are examples of administrators, like there's this example of Prashant Nair, who was the administrator of Kozhikode. He led this campaign, Compassionate Kozhikode in Kerala. What did he do? There were problems, so he volunteered people himself in this program to solve certain local problems. And this is nothing but trying to motivate certain people. So emotional intelligence is also about your own self, your own motivation, your own regulation, but also about social motivation and social awareness, basically. So are we clear? Are we able to understand the examples? Do mention yes if you are able to understand. You will further get this material for your further understanding. So till now, in answers and in case studies, there are these common approaches. Like we have seen civil service value-based approach already in the first part. Likewise, we have seen about the theories of ethics also, how could we apply them. Regarding syllabus of ethics also, we have seen the approach already, that how could we apply syllabus of ethics here. Like in this part, there is a national bank, and there someone is suffering because an employee, she has no money, she has no means, all the doors are closed, she has to get immediate surgery of the father. So the branch manager finally tells that you can have money from a dormant account, but don't tell this to anyone. And that dormant account person, because that's a dormant account, that also that person will not know, the account holder, that such a money has been withdrawn. And she is already paying back that money after the surgery, but still there are ethical issues here. So in this case, what we'll do is that, because this is a general case study, it's not about a grave humanitarian crisis, human trafficking, terrorism, violence. How do you come up with structure here regarding ethical issues and write some 5 or 6 points in ethical issues? How will you do that? You will simply connect it your syllabus of ethics, that there is ethics in governance, or in syllabus there is this ethics and human interface, applied ethics. And this is also about a little bit of applied ethics, because here someone wants money for medical treatment, but government is not able to ensure that in free. So this is, and hospital systems are such that you need money somehow. So this is also about medical ethics, that there is lack of medical ethics further in the system. Likewise, you will try to connect the syllabus here, so that you will come up with at least 6-7 points in 2-3 lines each. Even that would be sufficient, and that would make your case study very qualitative compared to what we right now write, like the general points here, without connecting them with approaches, without connecting them with our syllabus, the keywords which are mentioned in the syllabus, then it will become very general. So this is the idea. And some of the solutions I have already written. You can take screenshots, note them down, that what could have been the solutions here. Like if I would have been in that case where I have seen that such a person is in problem, and the general manager has given funds of a dormant account, and I am an observer, then what I'll do to help this person before the funds are given from a dormant account, what I'll do in this case is that I'll take a rational approach. I'll first of all tell the higher-most officials in the banks, the board of governors, that there is this problem. Do give us some funds for loan, even without documents, or even without, without too much of paperwork, to this person. Straight away, honestly telling that this person is an employee of your bank, this needs help, so do help us. Simply that. Likewise, I might try to engage some NGO or civil society organizations who help in this manner, or I'll try to extract funds from Ayushman Bharat, because Ayushman Bharat also provides health insurance to people, so I'll try to ensure that. Then I'll write that if these steps are taking too much of time, and this is because the person needs emergency care, then I'll try to utilize my own personal savings here to help this person. And I'll say this is a better approach, rather than writing Hello, ma'am. I am in class 11th. What want to be? Okay, I'll tackle this further. If you're in class 11th, how you have to become an IAS officer. But let's wait. So, personal savings. Regarding personal savings, this is a better option rather than taking an account from a dormant bank. Because in personal savings, you are yourself having this responsibility. You are taking responsibility. You believe that this person is in crisis and you are helping them, and you are going extra out of the way, and that will show to the examiner that you are an ethical person, and that is why it's a much better approach compared to taking a money from a dormant account. And then finally say that even if I don't have, suppose I don't have 10 lakh rupees with me, I don't have sufficient personal savings, then finally I will take money from dormant account, but I'll ask that dormant account holder himself. If he will give consent, then I'll give the money. Why? Because consent is important. You don't tell the person and you utilize their resources. It is simply stealing their resources. And this is how I think you should have framed this in a logical manner. So are we getting an idea here that how you have to frame the suggestions here in your answers? How you have to frame with a logical perspective here? If yes, then mention yes in the comment boxes. So next is about theories of ethics itself. We have already applied that. What are the theories of ethics? Deontology, utilitarianism, virtue ethics, and all of that, without mentioning their names, that I am using this theory or as per this theory. Utilize some keywords, utilize knowledge out of them, and then frame some points here. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. This is what I mean. Why? Because once you use the name that as per this theory, then your entire paper will look like you have mentioned a lot of theories. First of all, it will make it complicated. Then the examiner will know that you are just using nothing but theories of the question in the question. And then what the examiner will think that इसको कुछ नहीं आता है, ये बस रट के आया है कि सारी theories use करनी है. And then there will be a problem for you in getting marks. So this is the idea, that without explicitly mentioning the names of the theories, just utilize the theories and keep the examiner guessing that from how and where, how this student is able to write so qualitatively. This is the idea. Ma'am, please reply. Yes, Rahil, I'll reply to your query, but let the session finish first. Why? Because this topic is a little unique. You are in 11th standard right now, so just wait for a bit. I'll reply to your answer in the end. Stay till the end. I'll reply for it. Can we mention participatory notes, anonymity leading to money laundering? In this part, I don't think that there was a scope for it in this question. Regarding this banking and all, because or you try to explain me further in the comment section that how was the scope related to it, so I'll mention it. Giving first attempt, I'll reply to it in the end. Let's finish the session first, because then other students will also get disturbed, so little bit. So this is there. The next is the ethical stakeholder based approach. When there are too many stakeholders in a particular approach, in a particular question, that there is this architect, and then there is this chief architect in the same company, in the same this thing, and then central public works department, and then there is a young architect further who is discriminated based on gender or talent or anything. If there are so many of these stakeholders as there are in question number 11, then do mention, do break up the ethical issues as per the stakeholders. That what are the ethical issues on part of chief architect in this case? What are the ethical issues on part of organization? What are the ethical issues on part of you as a additional Directorate General of Central Public Works Department? So this is the idea. Now think of issues utilizing the key terms and theories of your syllabus. That what are the issues here? All right. Am I clear? Are we clear about this part? So this was the entire discussion, students. So this was it. So all the very best for your preparation. This was my takeaway. The first takeaway is to always remember your ethical theories, approaches, civil service values, whatever value addition you have to do, from where you have to take examples while reading your static portions. Always write ethics, value, what you can utilize in ethics with respect to that. Always keep thinking while reading your static portions, while reading newspapers, or while following Samachar Manthan classes, because we also cover that in our Samachar Manthan classes, how to ensure current affairs for ethics, how to link with that. I do that in my classes. So either you follow newspaper or you do Samachar Manthan classes. Both ways you try to always keep trying of connecting that how we can connect it with ethics, where we can mention the newspaper portions in ethics. So this is it with regard to the discussion. Too many stakeholders may lead to policy paralysis, decision making, delayed decision making, and implementation. All right, all right. So regarding the query asked by Rahil that you are in class 11th and you want to be a successful IAS officer, so which is the online coaching. So I think you can take up the advantage of Smash Mains Beginners program given up by Sajal sir, because this program is for clearing up the mains part, and this has been now opened up for beginners, so that because you have to be in a long journey, so you should be having proper mentorship and proper guidance. So Sajal sir, who is the academic head of Civilsdaily, provides that guidance, and we have the results also. Smash Mains is the most successful program in the market. So you can join the Smash Mains program, beginners program, and then you can also take advantage of the mentorship program, because you need a constant guide here with regard to your preparation for so many years till the time you are eligible to give your attempt. So this is the suggestion here. So all the very best people for your preparation, and keep subscribing to my videos. Do watch my videos with regard to GS2 also. Let's be honest, ethics plus U is awesome combination. Thank you. Thank you so much for the appreciation. I hope my efforts bring value to your preparation. So all the very best people, keep preparing.